It's funny when I get messages sometimes from people and they're like, oh, it was so and so. And, it's totally normal. And maybe someone in your family will know, and it's a connection for them. Okay, one of the things I want to do, I want to try something for you guys. So I want to do one of my 3-card readings. So I want you to choose card number 1, 2, or 3. We'll just serve everybody here for a second. And I'm going to use my Morgan's Tarot. Candace, I bet you don't have that deck. And this is the Morgan's Tarot, and it is so funny. And if you guys haven't had a reading from me before with this deck, I just want you to know it's a little bit far out. Okay, so it can be a little bit like, whoa, say what? So I just want to put that out there, but I love it. I absolutely love this deck. Okay, so I want you to choose card number 1, 2, or 3, and just think of your question and leave your comments there, please. And okay, this deck is so good. And okay, that's so funny. I'm actually going to put this back in the deck. Here we go. Candace, as soon as you read that, Candace wrote, you got me on that one. I don't have it, with laughing, crying face. And then this card popped up, which is someone is laughing at you. Ha, 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 ha. Like it flew out of my deck, of course. Okay, wonderful. I feel like the person in spirit for you as well also had a really wicked sense of humor. So there's something light and easy about them as well. Okay, they're really strong. I gotta break my connection with you now. Okay, here we go. So 1, 2, or 3. Okay, and I will find your answer. Remember to comment your number. Okay. Card number 1. Okay. One of the things that I love about this deck is it's actually quite challenging a little bit for me to read. And I love that about it, because it's just knowing that you're just really getting the messages, source energy. Okay, so this is for my people number 1. So this says pigs and fishes surround you. And as we can see here, we can see some pictures of pigs and some pictures of fishes. And this person sort of has their hands on top of their head, and it looks like they're sort of exasperated, right? So the message for this card, and for the people who chose this card, of course, I just dropped it, is really a lot about paying attention to the company that you keep, right? Paying attention to whether or not, the people around you are making you feel good, or whether or not they're doing the opposite of that. When we've got this person and their hands are above their head, they seem to be sort of exasperated. I also feel like they feel sort of bogged down and sort of trapped. As we can see here, there's pigs and fishes that are surrounding this person. This is really not leaving them a lot of opportunity to walk around, is it? It's sort of boxing them in. So I kind of feel like if you're a person who got card number 1 here, that it's really about paying attention to whether or not you're sort of boxed in by people, by things, by ideas, right? We have to remember too sometimes that we don't give enough credit to the videos that we're watching, the content that we watch on YouTube, Netflix, the books that we're reading, the podcasts we're listening to, all these kind of things. They all really paint a picture and really add to the canvas of our lives. So it's about understanding that every choice that you're making, food, all that kind of stuff, clothing, that it all has an effect on you. And so if you're feeling sort of bogged down, if you're feeling sort of trapped, I want you to start to look at the different things that are maybe allowing you to feel that way, right? And when I say that, you are responsible for getting yourself out of that. You're responsible for, the decisions that you've made. So if people are sort of bogging you down and they're creating a little bit of chaos or problems for you, see whether or not you can start to remove those friendships, right? You're supposed to feel light and easy. You're not supposed to feel bogged down and sort of stuffed as though you're stuck somewhere. So I want you to start to pay attention to a little bit of that. Luciano, you said yes, people, or say let it go. I question this. People, yes, people, or say let it go. Yeah. I think what you're trying to say is basically being aware of whether or not people are, are yes people and making you feel good, or whether or not you should let them go. I mean, the thing is this: if people make you feel good, you spend time with them. If they don't, you don't. This is pretty easy for me. So just check in with your emotions. The other thing too is checking in with how you feel after you've spent time with somebody. Because sometimes when we're spending time with someone, we go, oh, this is all right, but then we leave and then we're exhausted or deflated, or we feel down all of a sudden. Okay, people number 2, here we go. Number 2, card number 2. This is drink gold. I love that. So this is drink gold. Okay. So this card for me is talking a lot about paying attention to the things that you are, allowing into your life, right? So if you want abundance, start thinking in terms of abundance. By the way, if you are somebody who wants abundance, you want to start acting like that right now. You want to maybe go walk around in those fancy grocery stores, maybe treat yourself to one nice thing, or you want to go sit in a fancy hotel or a restaurant where you want to, and maybe have just a cup of coffee and just really sit there and kind of immerse yourself in it. When we get this drink gold card, this is a lot about you drinking in the nectar and the abundance that is life. And it's about understanding that, you have that choice. You can actually, have a beautiful experience doing anything, even the most mundane things. So you could have a cup of coffee, let's pretend, at home, and maybe you have a special spoon. And when you're stirring your spoon, you just say, I love myself. I'm healthy. I'm beautiful. I'm abundant. I'm whatever you want. I'm connected to source energy, anything you want. You kind of create a little bit of a ritual. So this card number 2 is a lot about taking that time to really give back to yourself, but to honor your needs and to really be paying attention to things that matter to you, and then showing up and delivering that for yourself. So I want you to start to drink in the gold. I want you to start to notice all the beauty and the wonderment and the grace and all the wonderful things around you. Soak up that gratitude, soak up that appreciation. And the more that you can do that, the more that you can drink in all the gold and the goodness and the nectar of life, the more you're going to be magnetized to that. Okay. Card number 3 is the path. That is so good. We've got the start and then we've got the end. And look, it's all these ebbs and flows, and in the middle is peace, and it's in the heart shape. This deck is just the coolest. It's so cool. So this is just talking about the path of life. Sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down, and sometimes we're to the left and sometimes we're to the right, and sometimes we're feeling peaceful and sometimes we're feeling loving, and sometimes we're at a dead end and we don't know what to do. So this is just really understanding that's a lot about the journey. It's not always about the destination, right? It's about being in the present moment and experiencing the things as they are at this time. Now, one of the things that the ego wants to do all the time is it really wants to kind of keep us in the past and keep us in the future, as opposed to being in the present moment now. But if we can focus on the journey instead of the destination, we're going to start to notice all the small intricacies of life. We're going to start to notice the golden nuggets that source leaves us. We're going to start to notice that we have these little markers that are saying, hey, maybe go that way instead of that way. We're going to start to notice the emotions that we're feeling that are guiding us along the way. We might even hear like song lyrics in our head that are giving us a message. So it's about really paying attention to the fact that you're walking your path. You don't need to be concerned with the path that other people are walking. You're really responsible for the life that you're living and the direction that you're going, and not other people. You can be the change that you want to see in the world. You can be that beacon of light and hope, but it's up to other people to follow their own path as well. So it's about having grace and ease for yourself along the journey, listening to your intuition and following through on that. And then it's also about allowing other people their grace and their ease along their journey. And sometimes we can look at some people's path and go, really, you're going there, you're making those choices, you're still doing that, but that's up for them to learn. So if you can be that shining light for them, you may inspire them to look at changing. But for now, it's about staying in your lane, staying on your path, and going through all of the different directions that your path is meant to take you on. And doing so, knowing that it's all good. You're going to get to the end destination when you're meant to. Okay, so I hope you found those helpful. I think we have time for 1 or 2 more readings. Just depends on how long I talk for. Okay, I'm going to have a quick drink here because I'm feeling like I've been talking straight. Well, that's what my job is, right? Isn't it? That's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Okay, so if you want to leave me some comments, let me know. How did those cards resonate with you? Julie said it was a great card. Thank you for that. Other people.